Okay, we're asked to estimate the time until landfall of a hurricane that's currently somewhere off in the Atlantic off the coast of Florida. And we're given some information here. Kind of interesting. This hurricane is 400 miles wide. Its center is 470 miles away, and it's approaching at 30 miles per hour. So we have enough here that we can work with this. We have a time, we have a distance, we have a speed. These all relate to each other. And if you've taken physics, you'll recognize this equation I'm about to write, but let me give it a shot with this. You might remember that distance is equal to speed times time, right? If you're going 60 miles an hour on the highway and you travel for an hour, you're going to go 60 miles. Now, let's turn that into a problem we can use. I'm going to draw this hurricane in a little more detail here. Okay, this thing is 200 miles wide. I'm sorry, 400 miles wide. So that means it's really a radius of 200 miles from the center to the edge. And that's important. If you have the center being 470 miles, okay, the center is 470 miles from NASA Space Center. How far is the edge from NASA Space Center? Well, that's going to be 270 miles, right? See, the reasoning that I'm doing here is this whole distance is 470. So what's this portion right here? Well, it's just the difference between the two of them. That's going to be 270. So it's a little bit of a tricky question. You have to keep in mind the difference between the center and the edge of the hurricane. We don't care when the center gets to NASA. We care when the edge of it gets to NASA and it starts getting hit with those hurricane winds. So the distance is going to be 270 miles. And the speed of the hurricane is 30. And that's going to be multiplied by t, the time it takes to get there. So now it's a simple algebra equation. See, once we get into algebra, it's easy. The hard part is really turning the words into numbers. So we're going to divide each side by 30. And that tells me that we're looking at 9 hours until landfall. Okay, now this thing is asking a little more than that. It's not just asking how long is it going to take. It's saying if it's currently 11 p.m., what's 9 hours past 11 p.m.? Well, you can count on your fingers if you like. But what that points us to is about 8 o'clock in the morning. That'll be 9 hours after 11 p.m. Okay, so this is actually not far off of the way weather predictions do their work. They measure speeds of storms, distances, and just do a little bit of algebra with the good old rate equation, distance and time.